Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here, back with another video. Obviously this is another Celtic related video, as you can probably tell by the title. Celtic, the Rangers, or I call them the Rankers for some reason. I don't know why I call them the Rankers, but I suppose it does rhyme with something. But for some reason I call them the Rankers, I don't know why. So it's my way of demeaning them. But anyway, so I hope you can hear my voice clearly. I was thinking it takes a while to make changes, I suppose. I hope for change. I'm not the most patient, so I hope to make changes very quickly. But thinking about things like my punctuation and trying to... I didn't even think of any New Year's resolutions for whatever reason. I didn't manage to come up with any. But as I mentioned in my previous videos, if you can think of any New Year's resolutions, please let me know. Anyway, I hope Celtic can continue with the good run we've been on recently. After 2 defeats in a row, which is not usual for a club like Celtic, we've been on quite a good run, like 3 victories in a row, most importantly over the Rankers, as I call them. I'll say it rhymes with another word that begins with W instead. But anywho, I hope that Celtic can beat St Mirren today, of course. From a point of Scottish football, I suppose, or from neutral's point of view generally, St Mirren beating us would probably be a good thing for them. Like, obviously it would be for St Mirren, and probably you could argue for Scottish football itself, and also for the neutral and that kind of thing. It would create more of a story, I suppose. But obviously, as a Celtic fan, as a Celt, as I'd say, I'm hoping Celtic can get all 3 points, and I think it'd be cool if Celtic could win all the rest of our games for the rest of the season, especially now that we don't have Europe to focus on. But yeah, I suppose this is not really a review as such. It's just I'm just thinking, I hope that we can continue to perform as we did against the Rangers, and I think the consistency is what worries me, because if we play every week as we did against the Rangers, I'm sure we would win almost all, if not all, our domestic games. We wouldn't get any defeats like we had. I can't even remember who we lost to. Motherwell, I think, was one of the teams. I think it was Motherwell and Kilmarnock, I think it was. But yeah, we shouldn't really be losing to those teams. But also, we haven't been consistent enough under Brendan Rodgers. So I hope he's starting to gel and get the team together. Obviously, today will be a test to see if it's like just if Rangers game was like a one-off, or if it was something that we're building on. Because a good victory today can show like we're consistent. Again, if we play like we did against the Rangers, which are at least the second best team, and I was worried that they were actually going to beat us this season, and they still might. I don't need too complacent, but if we can play like we did against them, then not every week, then I think we should be able to wrap up the league. Obviously, we have 2 more games, for those who follow Scottish football. We have 2 more games against the Rankers, as I call them, I say. But if we win at least one of those, and I mean, if we win one of those and all the rest of the games, I don't think the Rankers can catch us up. I call them Rankers in speech marks for some reason. But anyway, so I hope the consistency will be there. Like, if Celtic do play as we did in some of the other games and go back to that system, or get basically getting too complacent, or not putting the effort in as we did against the Rangers, then I think unfortunately that would be undoing all the good work that was done against the Rangers. So I hope they can continue on that run, and I'd love to see Kyogo get more goals now, and he scored against the Rangers and the Rankers, I'll say, and I hope he'll get that confidence, maybe even score a hat-trick in this game, and a few more to come, and hopefully he can get back to that form he had last season where he was a top scorer. I'd love to know people's score predictions, and I'd love to hear from like fans, or read from fans, at least from other teams, like maybe even St Mirren fans who might stumble across these videos, like if somehow they did before the game or during the game, whatever, like what score predictions you have, and what your dream scenario would be, or what your heart tells you and what your head tells you. And also from neutral Scottish football fans, or football fans generally, like if St Mirren, heaven forbid, in my opinion, and obviously Celtic fans' opinion, if St Mirren did St Mirren, did beat us, then I suppose you could argue it would be good for Scottish football and good for the neutral because it would make things more interesting. Because Celtic and Rangers win almost, again, the rankers, Celtic and the rankers win almost every week. So, but obviously, as a Celtic fan, I hope Celtic will win. I'm terrible at making score predictions, and also I'm not much of a gambler. If I'm really dreaming, my heart would say we'll beat them like 7-0 or even 10-0 or something like that, rather ridiculously. I might dream. It'd be pretty cool if we did get double figures and make a statement win, as I say, a statement win for the league. So that would, my heart would say like 7, 8, even 9 or 10-0. It'd be cool if we get double figures, but my head tells me like it will be a close game, and I can be quite a pessimist. So sometimes I think of all different scenarios, like St Mirren causing a shock against us or showing inconsistencies and things like that. So that would be my fear, I suppose. So I'm probably not going to really make a proper prediction, but I'd love for us to win 6 or 7-0 or even 8 or 9 or 10-0, go into double figures, even keep a clean sheet. That would be pretty cool as well. I'd love to see Kyogo, Matt O'Reilly and Bernardo and possibly Luis Palmer, however you pronounce his name, score a goal. It'd be great if we had so many different scorers, a couple of players getting hat tricks and things like that. Possibly, as I say, even going to double figures. That'd be pretty cool if I'm really dreaming. But I think the most important thing, obviously, is the 3 points and keep getting those and keep on getting those 3 points. Then I think the rankers won't be able to catch us because we just got to at least get a draw, if not a victory, against them in our next derby game. It'd be great if we could beat them in all 4 this season, I think, in each 4 of the derby games. But again, I think the consistency is really important. If we can keep that consistency. To be fair, most of the derby games have been quite close over the last few years, I think. Well, certainly a lot of them. Some of them have been runaways, but I'm sure the most recent ones have been, where they've mattered, they've been more close encounters. So, certainly the last 2 have been by an odd goal. Luckily, Celtic got that goal, so the goal difference. But I suppose some people might call me an armchair fan because I never really go to the games, but and I don't even get to watch the games really because not many pubs show them. I don't really go to the pub very often, so and I don't have any sports channels on my TV, so I don't really get to watch the games. Once I even went to try and watch the Celtic Rangers derby in a cup game, and none of the pubs where I live actually showed the game. It was on a certain channel. But if I did have money, I would actually pump money into Celtic so we can get those the best possible signings. But I just hope the board won't penny pinch. I hope they will spend well in the January transfer window, as I say. So yeah, I suppose I've gone a bit off topic. It's not really a match review as such, but I mean, I suppose it's still on the topic of Celtic. And most importantly, hopefully we win the league. But I think it's really important to win games like this to make sure that the rankers don't have too many opportunities to get back. I assume they'll win their 2 games in hand. I think we should take that for granted. I mean, I hope they'll draw or even lose 1 or 2 of those games. That'll be pretty funny and pretty cool if they lost their games. But I don't think we should take for granted they're going to lose their games in hand. I think we should almost take for granted that they're going to win those games. So it'll be a pleasant surprise if they draw even any of those 2 games they have in hand. But so obviously, if that's the case, we'll only be, if they win their 2 games in hand, we'll only be a couple of points ahead of them. So I think we've got to go out and win all our games and make sure that until it's mathematically impossible not be complacent. So I hope that the same teams turn up that showed up against the rankers, and maybe even better, if we can play even better than that. I also hope that we'll sign like some great players, including squad players, and not, if we do sell players like Matt O'Reilly or whatever, say even if Kyogo leaves or anyone like that, I hope we'll replace them with quality, not some people say like project signings. I hope that the club will get like a decent striker, a tall and imposing striker, preferably, so like we can get crosses into them and hopefully create those opportunities. And if they don't score, they can at least set up Kyogo or players like that. Again, if we sell Kyogo, I hope we'll replace any player we sell. I hope we'll replace them with as close to their quality as possible, preferably or preferably even better. Yeah, I'm probably waffling now. I think this video's gone on long enough, but as ever, I'd love to know what you think. Like, if you have any score predictions, just for a bit of fun, maybe. How you think the game will go? Any other predictions you have, like how many corners there'll be, match possession or whatever? Because like you might, maybe somebody might even have a daring prediction that St Mirren could cause an upset, and like even if Celtic have a lot of the ball, they could, heaven forbid, get a fluke goal or something like that. So it'd be interesting to read any daring predictions or anything like that, or anything you think, any constructive criticism, positive comments, or anything else you want to make. And I hope you have a good rest of 2024. Believe it or not, it's already the second. I can't believe how quick time goes. Anyway, I am out.